Los Angeles, California, with a Mad Scientist Party Hour.
Ooh, October 20th in February.
That show will be lit.
Oh, hello there, friends. Welcome back to another episode of Mad Scientist Party Hour. My name's Kevin Kraft, joined once again by a man who was tricked out of his pants and underwear and is now pleasuring his boner with the mouth of a jack-o'-lantern. That's Jeff Clark.
It's Halloween season, baby. Hide your jack-o'-lanterns.
And beaming to us from a haunted house, the ectoplasm-eating specter known as Shuddy Boy.
Yo!
I feel like I am in the shart danger zone today. I've had a little bit of the bubble guts going. And
shit liquid?
off and on, I get like real human poops and then liquid. It's really just a sordid dance between myself and my butt. And then I had to go to the post office today, and while I was out, I was like, you know what? I feel like I really fucked myself last time by starting the show very, very hungry. So this time I'm going to eat right before the show. And I went to Zanku Chicken. You ever had that, Jeff?
Yeah, we've talked about this recently.
Yeah.
My ex put me on the Zanku chicken years ago. It's fucking delicious. She's
Yeah.
Egyptian though, and she knew like a very specific order or a way to get it to make it the most delicious. And
She knows
it
like
was
the
fucking sweet.
in
I
and
thought
out.
she was Brazilian.
No, I'm talking about 2 X's ago.
Oh, okay. All right.
I ordered the half rotisserie chicken with tahini sauce and hummus as my sides.
Is Indian food the smartest move when you have bubble guts already?
Well, it's not Indian food.
Yeah, it wouldn't technically be Mediterranean.
Yeah.
My apologies. I assumed Zanku Chicken was an Indian restaurant for some reason.
No, it's like Mediterranean.
All right. Well,
like
then it's not.
falafel
It wasn't
and kebabs.
spicy, right?
No. It's not spicy.
Okay.
It's just I feel like hummus
I just
fucks me
sounded
up.
like an uneducated doofus.
But I love hummus. But it does. I think it might be just the ground up beans that irritate my stomach and make me give me gastrointestinal problems.
It could be the garlic also.
Yeah, it definitely could be the garlic because
I'm
garlic
sure
also
there was a
fucks me
ton
up.
of garlic in it.
Yeah, and I also get the little tubes of garlic paste, and I put that on it. So tons of sauces. It's a very loose. It almost goes in like diarrhea. So of course it's going to come out like diarrhea. But I wasn't thinking clearly. I just ordered it because I was hungry and it tastes good. And as I was eating it, I was like, "Ooh, oh boy, this is gonna be trouble for my anus, and perhaps my penus." But yeah, I might. If any farts arise during the show, I cannot trust a single one of them. They're shifty. I'm gonna have to hold it in.
I hope you shart on the show.
Maybe I'll do that for episode 600. An intentional shart.
We're getting really close to that.
I know. This is fucking
We-
weird, man. This is
We
weird.
should maybe start doing something responsible and start planning if we're going to do anything.
Are you gonna get your
Dude, I
goofy
lost
ass out
track
here?
at like 100. Which one are we on?
Right now?
Yeah.
I think it's 578. It's either 578 or 579. I forget which one.
It's 578.
578,
Do you still put the numbers
yeah.
in front of every episode title?
Sure. Yeah, why not? Keep the
I
format.
usually download them. That's weird. I guess I don't know what I haven't noticed.
Man, but
Well, just because you download them, do you listen to them and actually look at them? Or do you just download them so we get credit for a download?
That one. Yeah. I don't play back what I don't listen to myself. I hate listening to myself.
Me too. I still have yet
It's
to
a
watch back
common
any
thing.
of my stand-up shows yet either. I know lots of people like recording each one and they go back and watch it and analyze what they could have done differently. I can't fucking bring myself to do it.
When do you think you will, though? Because eventually you're going to have to start
I know.
to look at your own game film and make sure that how it looks is how you think it looks.
I'm so just like ashamed of myself. I'm like my number one hater. I hate me. So like looking at me, I'm just like, ugh, what a fucking loser this guy is. By the way, I have to give an update on last week when we were talking about wings and shit and making ourselves all hungry.
You happen to want winging.
Shout out to all the Puminati that fell under the wing spell and hit us up and were like, God damn it, now I have to have wings. And I heard from so many people that ordered wings after listening to last week's episode. I got my delicious wings from Wingstop, and I got to give you credit, Jeff. I couldn't finish the 15 wings. I ate 12 of them and ended up throwing out 3.
That's actually better than I thought you would have done, to be honest.
I feel like I've gone on binges and fucking destroyed dozens of wings in the past. But I don't know. Maybe that was when I was younger and more stoned.
I feel like that has to be more of like a. Yeah, I think you got to do that over the course of like a couple hours while you're drinking. That's probably where you did your most wing damage.
Yeah. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, God, it's starting.
As of right now, episode 600 will fall on March 6th if we take no breaks between now and then.
Well, we got Christmas and stuff, so I'm sure we'll take one.
I actually thought Chuddy factored in Christmas when he said that.
I didn't. No, that's just straight up counting.
You forgot your own birthday.
Christmas is a Sunday, right? Are you going back to Florida? Are you going to Florida for the holidays this year, Kevin?
Yep.
How is your family? I'm sure I'm pretty sure I asked you already and you said it was all good, but why don't you update the listeners?
Yeah, luckily my family was on the side that didn't get plastered. So no damage. They just got some rain and stuff. But man, I know a lot of people lost everything. Like our friend Bonnie, her hometown, the town she's from, is just like fucking gone. Like,
is she from Fort Myers?
I think she said, well, I don't want to necessarily go doxing her, but like, I know she was sending pictures and stuff, and like some people she knows, they stayed in their house, and the water levels when they rose up just like lifted it off the foundation, and the house just got fucking swept away. People like lost their businesses and their houses and their cars, like literally lost everything. Like entire town's gone. I know they're just now getting to the death toll, and it's already pretty high. So that's fucking terrible, man.
Yeah, real bummer.
Yeah.
I heard Fort Myers got hit pretty hard. I work with a few people from Florida, a couple of which evacuated, a couple of which stayed put. Everyone's okay, at least on that front. But scary stuff, man.
Yeah.
That's a disaster that I have never dealt with and hopefully don't have to. A tornado randomly came through upstate New York when I was fucking maybe 12, 13 in Mechanicville. Obviously, I've lived and lived through my fair share of blizzards, done an earthquake a couple times, but no hurricane. Fuck.
I went through
terrifying.
some hurricanes when I was little in Jersey, but nothing fucking disastrous. Just like losing power was the worst of it.
What was the bad one when I was in college, I think, 2008, 2009. Was it Sandy or Irene?
I think it was Irene.
Sandy
one of them
was
hit
really
New
bad.
Jersey really hard.
Yes. Well, Sandy did, but that was after I had moved to LA.
Okay. Maybe I'm thinking of Irene.
Yeah. Well.
Are we done
where do
talking
we?
about episode 600?
Yes.
Okay.
Let's go back to Hurricane Shark.
I do want to give a quick update. So anybody who is Patreon curious, they implemented a new billing option. So I guess when you signed up for Patreon, they billed you right when you signed up and then billed you again at the first of the month. So like, say you signed up 2 weeks into September, you got charged a second time 2 weeks later, and then it's just first of the month or last day of the month every month after that. So we switched over to the one where now when you sign up for Patreon, you get charged that day, and you don't get charged again until a month later. So I know that was a thing that Patreon did that pissed a lot of people off, and it's gone. So
Nice.
if that was holding anybody back, come on in. The Patreon waters are fine.
They're better than fine.
Patreon's done with their bitch shit. That's good news.
There is something for everyone on our Patreon. There is enough content that if you don't like something like, say, Masters of the Pooniverse, you could watch Between Two Flushes or Kevin's Nerd Hole.
Kevin,
If you're a weeb
Kevin,
and you
you
like
fire
anime,
up
you can do Dragon Ball Queef with myself and Jeff. What were we going to say?
There's
Sorry.
so many
coming out
options
this week, right?
Oh, yeah, we got to record another one. Ooh.
Yeah.
What were you saying?
But
Sorry, I
we
cut you
will.
off, Jeff.
I was saying how many nerd holes you do.
Oh yeah.
You're at a few a week, right?
No, I do one a week.
Oh.
But yeah,
Fair
shitloads of them. What the fuck did I just watch with Shuddy and Dom? Queef or no queef. You can catch up on Crafter Jeff Shuddy edition. Tons and tons of shit there.
Yeah.
What else? Jeff and I got our hood cards punched. No, we
About
didn't.
time.
We did not. But we did go and see Wu-Tang, Nas, and Busta Rhymes.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, I mean,
I
I,
would-
We played it pretty tight with the schedule, I thought. We went to dinner a little too early, didn't get to the show with enough time to really like check things out.
You got so you went to dinner too late,
Yes, that's what I meant to say. Sorry.
which is, I believe, what I warned you against last week. I told you that you guys needed to give yourselves time,
I believe you did say that.
and you just willfully ignored me. Whose fault was it?
probably mine.
I
I had to pick up
I think
Paul.
it was a team effort.
I had to pick up Paul and then head to Long Beach, which turned out to be a way longer drive than I expected.
So it's Paul's fault.
Well, I could have left earlier to pick Paul up. But
Yeah, like Paul was on your way for the most part, right?
no, I thought he would be, and then I looked it up and I was like, "Oh yeah, this is a little bit of a detour, but whatever."
Paul's such a bitch. All right, fair enough. I'll tell him that later.
But no, I mean,
Anyways.
we made it. We were at our seats before Wu-Tang started, so it worked out. We just didn't get to go to the merch booth or get any drinks. So to backtrack a little bit, Jeff bought a jar of 4 pre-rolled blunts that, interestingly enough, came rolled with their own glass tips, which that's a cool little fucking extra. I'm definitely a big fan of that.
Now, where
Yeah.
did those come from? A legit spot or from a
Jeff just
From a-
vanished.
back alley spot?
Oh, there they are.
No, it's a legit spot. I got it from the Circle, which is a
Okay.
spot in Long Beach, but it's called Rambutan OG from El Blunto.
El Blunto.
El Blunto. Yeah, sounds like a goofy name. It is a goofy name, but it's 4 El Bluntitos infused with live ice water hash. And these are some potent little fuckers.
They're
Oh.
little, aren't they? That jar doesn't look very big.
Yeah, no, they're Bluntitos. They're like half blunts, mini blunts. We smoked. I got 4 of them. We smoked 2 of them.
And it was just me, Jeff, and Paul smoking them. And
Yeah,
holy shit, did I get torched. My God. Like, I was so high, I was at the point where I was like, I might have to be a nerd and sit down. Like, my fucking heart was beating out of my chest. I was like one of those cops that eats like a weed brownie with their wife and then calls 911. I think we're dying. I was that high.
When we saw them, I rolled up several fat blunts. And then I snuck a shine cone joint that was about yay long into the show and smoked that and ended up at a point in the show with a bag of popcorn under one arm, a tub of cotton candy under the other, and just shoveling both into my mouth.
That sounds delightful.
While drinking liquid death, because that's also what they had at the venue to drink. Like, I was in heaven. I was just, Miles, eating candy and salty stuff and watching Wu-Tang. It was fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, so here, Jeff was scared to bring the blunts in. So he was stressing.
I was too. The shine cone came in this tube, so I tucked the tube into my sneaker, and they just let us walk in with no, like, they had us empty our pockets, and that was the extent of security.
I don't even think it was that much security for our concert.
Really?
Like, it was like reverse security. Oh yeah.
Well, they had
the chillest.
They had a metal detector you had to walk through.
That's true, but I don't remember having to take like my keys or phone out of my pocket.
I left my belt on. I took my keys. I took my phone. Nothing set off the metal detector. But Jeff was so scared. He was trying to convince Paul to shove the blunts up his ass. He was trying to like coax me into smuggling them. And I was just like, dude, worst case scenario, it's a metal detector. In which case, they're not going to pat you down. They're not going to like make you turn your pockets inside out. Just like maybe ditch the jar. Put them in your pocket, and you go through, and you're fine. That way, there's no like bulging jar in your pocket showing through your pants. But Jeff was such a bitch. He made me be his drug mule.
That's all right. I mean, that's mostly a fair recap of that situation. I was very nervous. I felt like you probably had a looser butthole, and I was like, you know what? Why don't you just use your butthole, Kevin? Instead of me having to use mine.
Yeah, but mine's filled with like Zanku chicken diarrhea.
Well, I didn't know that at the time. But Paul's butthole is always open. We could have just shoved it up there. Either way, it was pretty easy smuggle. And I definitely overreacted.
Yeah, but I mean, your bitch assness started to rub off on me a little bit. And I was like, Jesus Christ, am I going to get caught here? Like, what I ended up doing was I just took the 4 blunts out of the jar and put them between the waistband of my jeans and my undershirt. And it just held them in like a blunt bandolier.
So a conversation that me and Bill were having beforehand that I never told you about, but I want to hear your guys' input. I was actually thinking before he went like real Republican with the suggestions, but I was like thinking like, why don't I just like walk in like with the blunts, like in my pocket, like whatever. Like, What are they going to say ultimately? Like, because it's a legal state, right? And, like, my thought on it was, like, I mean, you could go to a stadium, to a baseball game with a pack of cigarettes, right? And then
the worst that they would have told you to do was return it to your car.
Right. Yeah.
That's the absolute worst that would have happened.
Right.
Like, the worst that probably would have happened to me would have been, like, they would have been like, you need to throw that out. And I would have had to sacrifice. Like, that's happened to me at shows before. I've tried to sneak a joint into a show in my pack of cigarettes, and they've checked them, and they've been like, that's got to go. You can either throw it out or take it back to your car.
Yeah. I don't know.
They're not going to, like...
Definitely would have happened.
The stadium security is not going to, like, put you under arrest.
Right.
But,
no,
like,
I just thought,
you got in my head, and I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, well, shit, if I get caught... And there's like, I don't know, a cop standing nearby and they're like, hey, officer, get him. Now, I'm the fucking 40-year-old getting arrested for sneaking blunts into a Wu-Tang show. I don't need that shit at my age.
I still think in a state
paranoid
where
and
it's
illogical.
recreational, unless it was you were sneaking it into a federal building, I don't think you would wind up in cuffs.
Yeah.
There's just no way. Like,
I know.
if anything, if they were like, even if I just had them loose in my pocket and like I put them,
Oh, I
and
forgot
they
about
had
those.
like a case next to the
Miles, a package.
metal detector, and you put it in there, like ultimately I can just be like, well, I'm not going to smoke them, of course. Like it's illegal in this, it's not allowed in this concert. I
didn't bring these
have
here to
them-
smoke them. They're just my lucky blunts. I take them everywhere.
I forgot that I have them. I smoked a blunt on the way to the concert because it's legal here. And like whatever, I'm not going to smoke it at this concert, but it's still legal. Does that make any sense?
No.
But like all right. So again, like I don't know the word that I'm looking for, but like you can bring in cigarettes to a concert, right?
Yeah. And you probably can't smoke them in there. Although
No, you
this
definitely can't. Like
this
there's no
was
way.
This was an outdoor amphitheater though, so I think they probably did allow smoking in some capacity.
Right.
I don't know.
But
either way,
I mean, you can bring cigarettes into a fucking show, and it's just like no one would tell you not to smoke indoors because it's fucking law. Like it's obvious. So
yeah.
that would be like my same thing. Like, of course, I'm not going to smoke at this rap concert. That's not allowed, guys.
The funniest thing was Bill trying to clown us for smoking weed at a concert.
At a Wu-Tang concert.
Dude, this is some of the craziest shit I've ever heard because we listened to Shuddy, you would have loved it. We listened to Tool the entire drive there. And then like I think you guys or Bill mentioned you guys saw Tool somewhat recently. So like how can you go to a Tool concert and not like smoke weed?
I think we were all on mushrooms too.
So there's no problems with taking mushrooms for a concert, but you can't smoke weed at a concert.
That was just all right. So me and Bill had this conversation earlier, and I just don't think he wanted to talk to me. So he was just saying stupid shit, and that actually worked because he said that, and like I just looked at him, and was like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" And just like walked out of his room, and just was like that was the dumbest thing anyone had said to me in a while, and it just wasn't even worth an argument. Like his exact words were, "Who smokes at a concert? What are you, 17?" And I was just like my brain was broken by how stupid of a comment that was. I was just like, all right, dude, fuck you, whatever. And just like walked out. But I saved it and I told it to Kevin. And it was just like the dumbest fucking thing anyone could say. Like Raekwon was on stage smoking blunts. You know what I mean? Like all of the Wu-Tang
And
Clan,
it was really
essentially.
awkward when Bill started booing him.
The entire you've been to the Tweeter Center, right, Kevin? It's not called that anymore, but the spot in Camden.
Actually, I think I might have gone and seen Dane Cook there back in the day.
But it's an outdoor, so it's an amphitheater that has grass seating and it's open in the back. And by the time the show was halfway, we were at the halfway point in the show, everybody was smoking blunts or joints, and it was just insane. Like I mean, I'm not proud of this. I shouldn't, but people everybody was smoking cigarette. Like it was just a fucking smoking free for all.
Sure, why not?
Yeah.
You're outside.
Of course.
I mean, the all the people around us were smoking. Man, there were these two chicks in front of us that were just fucking wasted, and I don't know if they were like white chicks or Middle Eastern or something, maybe Persian. They looked a little olive
Hispanic.
complexion.
They were Mexican.
Oh, they were? They were acting
for sure.
They were acting very white woman.
I almost got into it with a woman that she was so drunk at.
I almost had the karate chopper.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I mean,
cool though.
She was just screaming, like not even coherently screaming. It just sounded like a cackling. And finally, I made some snide remark, and then she wrapped her arm around me and could barely stand up, and was like, "Why are you mad at me?"
Oh, Oh, Shuddy. She had to have been white.
I didn't even look because I was fucking furious. Like, I was like, all I could hear was her screaming in my ear directly behind me.
Ma'am, if you don't let me go, I'm going to have to strike you.
Oh man.
But that, man, like, I don't know. Like, at one point, they started playing Come Together. And
Yeah.
Yes.
the chick in front of me looks at her friend and goes, "This is the Beatles!" Wow. Newsflash.
She was right. Pretty sure Aerosmith covered that song though for the Armageddon soundtrack.
Oh, how fucking funny would that be if she just turned to her friend? She's like, "It's Aerosmith! Listen, it's Aerosmith!" But yeah, that chick sucked. Her and her friend were obnoxious. But outside of that, fantastic show. And like Jeff said, we were pushing it time-wise. Thank God we got, the VIP parking and got to park all close and just head right in. But at first glance, it looked a little 626 night market-y where there were all these booths set up. And a lot of it was you could get margaritas and all these wonderful drinks. And we were all just like, obviously licking our chops, staring at them. But it was like, no, first things first, let's get to our seats and make sure we're there when the show starts. Which we did. We got there just in the nick of time. And Jeff busted out the El Bluntitos, or whatever they're called, soon after. And, like, infused with fucking hash, strong weed, I got wrecked. And at some point, I'm thinking to myself, because we did also want to go and look at the merch booth. The line at the merch booth was absolutely fucking astounding. I couldn't believe it. So I was like, all right, well, I'll save that for later. But I also knew that there'd probably be a mad dash for the merch booth when the show ended as well. So in my head, I'm trying to make a battle plan for how I can get to that merch booth and not miss anything cool. And at some point, like after I was high for an extended period of time and the cottonmouth set in, I was like, okay, well, this is not going to do. I need water desperately. And I don't think you guys left the seats the entire show, right?
We didn't. I didn't know you left. Actually, I saw you with a liquid death can. I was like, what? Did he sneak off to concessions? It would have been nice if you got me a fucking water, dude. I was so parched by the end of that. But
I told Bill.
I was just locked in.
I was like, I'm gonna go get I'm gonna go get a drink, and he was like, oh, okay, and I was like, oh, all right. So I just walked off. But now
I tell you, drinks at concerts are stupid.
Well, no, I was just getting a non-alcoholic drink. I was just straight up thirsty. But now I feel like a butthole for not getting you guys water.
You should.
But when I got the water, I was like, okay, now that I'm out, I'm gonna go to the merch booth. So I get in the massive line. And it is not moving. And it's taken so fucking long. And then I hear Method Man start. Like, the song Method Man. And I was like, oh no. Oh no, Method Man's on stage and I'm missing it. So I was just like, fuck this. I left, went back to the seat. And then there was just no real dead spots. I mean...
I told you.
Wu-Tang was fucking phenomenal. And then Nas comes out and did a crossover song, and then Wu-Tang all left the stage, and Nas just killed it for a while. And then you get Busta, who just... It's a good thing there wasn't a roof on that place, because I don't think anybody put on a show that night as well as Busta. And Nas and Wu-Tang were both phenomenal.
It is crazy how fast Busta Rhymes can rap.
Still. Like,
it is insane.
At your show, did he do the thing where he was like, we don't have special effects. We are the special effects. Like, he was just, I guess, trying to clown people that performed a backing tracks or lip sync or used some sort of trickery, and they were like, no. What you hear on the CD is what you see live when you come to see us. And I was blown away. Like, I was expecting... I love Busta Rhymes. I always have. But I was really like, okay, that's really cool that Busta's going to be there. But, like, yeah, Wu-Tang and Nas. This is Like I wasn't even saying it like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go see Wu-Tang, Nas, and Busta Rhymes tonight. I was pretty much just like, oh yeah, I'm going to see Wu-Tang tonight. This is sick.
Yeah, dude. He held his own end of the bargain, that's for sure.
Yeah. But yeah, after
But
I went back. When did I go back? I think Wu-Tang started doing some songs that I didn't know, and I was like, all right, now it's time for round 2. I'm gonna go check the merch tent. Lines had died down. I walked up to the front and peeked in. Sold out of almost everything. That fucking hoodie you're rocking, Shuddy, gone. No hoodies.
can you get it online anywhere?
The store doesn't sell them. I went on eBay. There was one person bought a hoodie to try and flip it online. And it was an auction. And all these people are already bidding on it. And then there was a buy it now of $99. So I texted Shuddy and I was like, how much did you pay for your Wu-Tang hoodie? And he was like, I don't know, 85 or 90. And I was just like, all right, I'm pulling the trigger. And I bought it. I feel
Yeah,
kind
I
of
think
like
it was 90.
I feel like a chode because I didn't buy it at the actual show, but I did go to the show.
You were at
Wasn't
least
possible.
at the show.
Yeah.
And I have a Nas t-shirt, long sleeve also.
Yeah. I'm bummed I didn't get to buy any merch, but we were cutting it a little tight.
They didn't have
really-
the posters either.
No, they did have the posters. But you can buy them all online. They made a different poster for every city they went to. Some of them are fucking sick. Like the Virginia, Washington, D.C. one is like it's like a drawing of a samurai in front of a full moon, and there's like arrows in his armor, and he's holding up a sword. It's fucking
Oh,
rad.
I thought they were all just going to be the bee nunchucks with a different state in the middle.
No, each city gets its own design. The one at our show was a tiger. It's kind of cool.
I didn't see that.
Yeah, you
Fuck
can
yeah,
you
that's
can go on
cool.
Wu-Tang's website and buy one from any of the shows, but for some reason that hoodie, only place you can get it is at the actual show.
Wu-Tang.com.
I think so. I'm on their mailing list, so I clicked on one of their emails that they sent me.
Nice. What a hell of a mailing list to be on.
I know.
I should be on their mailing list.
But man, if you're living somewhere where that tour is coming and there's still tickets left, fucking go to it.
Oh my God, these are all fucking amazing.
Aren't they? Fucking sick.
Yeah, it was legit, like probably a top 3 hip hop show I've ever been to.
Dude, look at the one for look up the one for Austin.
But did Austin get the coolest one?
Austin has a pretty fucking sick one.
All right, let me see this shit. So, Shuddy, Method Man didn't play at your show, right?
No, he did not. Which was a huge bummer.
That sucks.
Because him and Redman did come out and do Rockwilder at the Newark, New Jersey show, which was the very next show after mine, and the one I opted out of so we could go to the outdoor one. Had I just said let's go to the Prudential Center in Newark, we would have gotten to see that. But I made the call to go to the one outside of Philly.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, Redman wasn't at our show either.
No, he didn't make it. You can get the New York State of Mind tour T-shirt on their website, though. I mean, no hoodie, but I'm gonna buy the T-shirt.
You are?
Yeah,
Nice.
for sure. Yeah, no, that show kicked ass. That was honestly the best that I've ever heard Nas sound. That's like the 3rd or 4th time I've seen him. Like he was fucking great.
What did the Newark poster look like?
I was saying to you guys earlier this summer, I was like, I think Nas hit like a second prime, and like some of his recent stuff is fucking sick too. And like he put on a hell of a show. I was so happy with all the performances, really. But yeah, the whole experience is pretty cool. I just wish that we could have gotten there a little earlier, so we could have gotten the merch and maybe gotten a drink, even though it was like fucking $20 beer night.
Yeah. Yeah. That
The
was a little much.
concessions were so expensive. I wonder if that was like a local thing. How much were drinks by you? Shuddy.
Oh my God, they were insanely expensive. I think Zach was paying $21 per
Yeah.
alcoholic mixed drink he was
Dude,
drinking, and beers were like $10.
drinks at
Oh,
shows have always been insane, and they just keep getting higher and higher. Like they were
But
really pricey when I
so
saw Rammstein last week too.
the thing is, it was a Live Nation venue, right?
Yes, it was. It was
So
Ticketmaster Live Nation tag
owns
team.
that venue.
Ah, well, that explains the fucking gouging. These scumbags.
And that's why, yeah. These are all, I believe Live Nation owns all of these spots, like the Tweeter Center. So everything was Live Nation. Like they were getting a cut, they were getting everything. It wasn't the venue, and then, you know, Live Nation was just promoting the show, if I understand it correctly.
Scumbag, Shuddy boy. Scumbag.
I
say.
agree. I agree wholeheartedly.
So yeah, that was dope. What else is going on? Did you guys watch anything?
I did. Watched a
Oh.
few things.
I thought we were going to talk about the Nugatos at that show.
Nugatos.
There was a girl
Oh, yeah.
in our row who had the greatest Nugatos probably ever, and she had them just like hanging out.
Yeah,
It
and
was-
she
and
constantly had to keep leaving.
Yeah, she kept having to go to the bathroom or get drinks. So she would essentially just dry hump everyone in the aisle real quickly as she was walking, as she was like skirting past.
And she didn't do the Tyler Durden thing where she aimed her ass at us. She went Nugato first
Yeah.
as she shimmied by.
She led with those warlocks. And it was probably the third or fourth actually, I guess fourth best performance of the night. Thank God for her. Dude, I was so tired by the end of that and parched. Like I didn't move for the whole show. So like my feet were just fucking like on fire by the time we left.
Yeah.
I'm actually slightly impressed with myself that I didn't fall asleep midway through the show or just made it through. Just made it through, and I was good to go for another hour had I needed to.
With how high I got, that was my concern as well. Because the one and only other time I had been to this venue, I got wasted before Sounds of the Underground. And
Wow, that had to be a long time ago.
it was 2006, I believe, was when we went. And I fell asleep during
In
As
Flames?
I Lay Dying.
Oh, yeah, you didn't miss much.
Or Trivium. I can't remember which one of those two, but I full on passed out in our seats at the show because I got so wasted.
Yeah, I mean, I was, like I said, I almost smoked myself into another dimension. But the show went by so fast. It was 3 hours, just nonstop. And when it ended, I was like, man, like you said, Jeff, I could have done another hour. Like, that was fucking sick. Speaking
Hell
of
of a
Nugatos, at the Rammstein show last week, I forgot to mention, when they were doing like a little bit of a set change, they just plastered on the Jumbotron like footage from the crowd, and every single time the camera went on a chick, titties out. Like this was like Woodstock '99. I was like, wow, not a single girl was like, nah, nah, nah. Every single one, the second they saw themselves on the TV, were like, bwamp. And
I
then
don't think that still happened.
I didn't either. But I was like, fucking Rammstein, getting the titties out. Old school. I like it. And then they started cutting to dudes, and dudes would see themselves on the screen and be like, and then flash their tits, and everybody started cheering and laughing. It was pretty awesome. So,
Man.
Shuddy, what did you watch since we last convened?
I went to the theater
Oh, look at you, fancy pants.
and saw the horror film to kick off spooky season,
You son of a bitch.
Smile.
Oh, I wanted to see that.
I think you would really enjoy it
I've been hearing good things.
because it was absolutely a movie I had zero interest in seeing. Saw the trailer, thought it looked fucking stupid, hated the name. Nothing about it made me want to see it. Then Bradley asked if Draven and I wanted to go Friday night, and like a coward, I set it all in Draven's lap and said, I'll go if Draven wants to. To which Draven said, yes, we'll go. So I begrudgingly went. And I, aside from the behavior of some other audience members, which we'll go into, I thoroughly enjoyed the movie. Like, the plot wasn't that great, but the jump scares were really good. I mean, I was super stoned, so I jumped quite a few times because they are pretty good.
Did someone in the audience come up to you, put their arm around you, and said, "Why are you mad at me?"
So there were these 8th or 9th graders that had snuck into the movie.
Were they smooching?
That's cool.
Screaming, yelling, conversing in a yelling manner through the entirety of the film.
You didn't go shutty Karen on them?
I did.
And it didn't work?
First, I tried to get the point across by hitting him in the head with a munchkin that Bradley had snuck in a box of munchkins.
So you threw a donut at them?
I threw a Dunkin' Donuts munchkin at them, yes.
Nice. I like the passive-aggressive food violence.
I feel like that's very aggressive.
Don't know why I'm doing
this.
this.
Point across, so 10 minutes later, I yelled, "Shut up," which also didn't work. And then about 2 minutes after I did that, the rest of the theater erupted, telling them to shut the fuck up.
Did everybody collectively stone them?
No,
with
they should
munchkins?
have. They should have. They were so obnoxious. I was furious.
And they never ended up shutting up? Even after
No,
the whole
they
theater?
did. But by the time I lost my cool and finally yelled at them, there were 5 minutes left in the movie.
Oh, fuck.
So it worked.
So you dealt with this for like an hour and a half?
Yeah, yep, for longer than that because the movie's 2 hours long almost.
Christ.
But it's good, and I think you'll really enjoy it.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff coming out. I just gotta make the time to go.
The guy who plays the main character's fiance is A-Train from The Boys.
Oh yeah, I heard about that. Yeah, that's cool.
Not a great actor.
I think he's getting a lot more work though, so
But
get used to seeing him.
I mean, I didn't have a problem with him. He was fine for the role he had, but he's not.
He's like if you can't afford Michael B. Jordan, you get that guy.
Correct. Exactly.
He's Moneyball Michael B. Jordan.
100%.
Dude, after I watched the Smile trailer, which is in theater, I did like an audible out loud, like, "Oh, come on."
So did I.
I thought that was the stupidest fucking thing ever. Like, people are smiling. That's your creepy angle. Like, get the fuck out of here.
I saw they even recruited Smile people to go sit in the stands at baseball games and smile directly into the camera to creep them out. And it was just like a viral marketing campaign.
Obviously, there's like a team effort there, but I don't get how you do that. Like, how do you find the camera? Or like,
it was definitely set up.
That hard.
They definitely set it up with the stadium.
That was paid advertisement. No,
but it's also weird that they didn't like. The announcer wasn't like, "Oh, she's smiling," much like that movie Smile that's coming out in theaters. Yeah,
yeah. Like they've had like the camera had. There's this famous like viral moment where the camera had like a blinking contest with this kid, and this kid just stared in the camera. And like it zoomed in on him, and he didn't blink the whole time.
That's talent. I'm a big blinker.
Cool. But like that's kind of what I thought the Smile thing was. I didn't know it was like orchestrated in some way, or like they paid off the TV channel, because that would make more sense. But it's just like, how the fuck do these people find the camera that easily? I don't know. I'm sure that's a very easy thing that I'm I'm making it sound harder than it actually is. But
Well,
whatever.
Shuddy, how many smiley dicks are you going to suck?
3.5.
All right.
Which for a horror movie for me, that's a high rating.
Sure. Yeah. You're not
Like
a
the
huge
jump
fan
scares were, I mean, like, take my horror movie opinion with a grain of salt, but they definitely, I jumped quite a few times, and like it was.
of them. Oh, fuck.
Ah, no.
Oh, sorry, I spilled my soda all over you, Bradley.
But I enjoyed it. 3.5.
Nice.
And then did some Tarantino rewatches with the boys.
That's some good family time bonding right there.
Kill Bill Volume 2. And then...
Oh, Brad's a smart motherfucker.
And then we watched Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
Nice.
Both in the same night?
So we watched Kill
evening.
Bill 2 in the afternoon. And then we watched Once Upon a Time in Hollywood in the evening, followed by 2 episodes of Breaking Bad.
Man.
Make
It's
it
wonderful you
count.
can get that much time with your family.
Yeah. I watched 2 new Netflix streaming things. Are you ready?
This is my wheelhouse. I'm going to write these down.
I watched Blonde.
Oh, you're one of those people that have watched this terrible movie that's exploitative of Marilyn Monroe.
Yeah, I had to see what's up.
Both my brothers watched it, and I had no fucking idea. They like watched it on the same day, and
Anna
I
de
had no
Armas
idea.
gets fully naked in it, I believe.
You don't
Yeah.
see Poo-Tang, but
But it's implied.
a lot of breast
I'm going to
assists.
scroll through that.
There's a lot of breast assists. Like, I remember I saw a lot of reviews that were just like, this is trash. It's just her titties out the whole time and blah, 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 blah. And halfway through the movie, Carl and I were like, so far, she's only really showed her titties once. Like, it's not that bad. And then right when we finished saying that, her titties came out again, and then they were prominently featured for the half end of the movie, pretty gratuitously. Lots of titties. There's a boner. You get a boner in it, a real quick boner. And what else? Some of the stuff that was... Because I remember, like, it was just so shocking that, like, yeah, there's a Marilyn Monroe movie coming out, and it's NC-17. It's like, okay, Jesus, like, did they make her fuck a dog? Like, I've seen some rugged shit in R-rated movies. How did they get an NC-17? Like, that was what was the most intriguing for me. Like, not even necessarily just wanting to titillate myself with nudity. I was just like, what lines did they cross to get the dreaded NC-17, which no filmmaker wants? But I guess if you're going direct to streaming, it's a pretty good marketing ploy. Like, NC-17 will likely and usually get you banned from the big chains. So I don't think AMC will show NC-17 movies. A lot of the other big ones won't do it either. So most of the time people will cut whatever is getting them an NC-17 rating. But if you're just plopping it on Netflix, you know, let the titties fly. So Carl and I have been wanting to watch this for a while, and she's been doing her sleuthing and Googling, and she was like, okay, here's one of the things I saw that got an NC-17 rating. Vaginal POV. And we both were just like, what the fuck could that be? Like, is she about to get boned and the camera is the penis and it just zooms into her vagina? Or do you see from the perspective of her vagina and a penis just darting at it? Like rocketing towards the screen.
And what was it?
It was neither of those. So Marilyn Monroe gets pregnant quite a few times throughout the course of this movie. And every time she's pregnant, it cuts to a fucking floating fetus screensaver that is so fucking weird and dragged out. And every time it happens, it got like a laugh out of us just because it was so silly. It was like, what? The screensaver again. That's the fetus screensaver. So one of the times, I think she gets 2 abortions in the movie. And you see from the inside of a vagina is just darkness, and then you see things part, and you see the doctor.
So you see out of the vagina. You see from the vagina's point of view.
Yes.
So that's what it meant. Vaginal point of view. You're a vagina for a moment.
But it doesn't look vaginal, you know? There's not like lips or hair hanging in there or anything. It's like, where the fuck is it? I'm trying to find.
I almost feel
The
like
window.
that's something that
Looking out
happened
the
in
window.
Look Who's Talking.
Yeah.
When the baby is born, like, right?
Okay, so I have here a fistful of slime. This is a blob of florp. This is kind of what it looked like. It was just like a
Oh.
except not that wide. Here. It was more like let me see how close I can get this to the camera. It was like bloop. Kind of like that. Oh man, I grossed Shuddy out to the point where he ran away. It was kind of silly. I'm not going to lie. I'm going to put this slime back in its bucket. But for the movie itself, the plot of it was just a string of misery. There's nothing lighthearted to break the tension, break up the misery. You never see her celebrating any moments of her life. It's not like, oh, I got a big break. Yay, I made it. I'm going to be a star. It's just, it starts with her childhood and her fucking abusive mom trying to drown her. Then her getting, like, raped by casting directors. And then just, like, every guy that comes into her life treats her like shit. Like, there's no setup for it. It's like, now she's just at Musso and Frank with Joe DiMaggio, and then he beats the fuck out of her. It's just, it jumps from just one misery thing to the next misery thing. It's just 3 fucking hours of misery porn. And the director, I'll give him points for some of the artsy stuff that he tried to pull off was effective, and I liked it. There was some cool stuff visually. But, I mean, it's a chore to get through those 3 hours. Ana de Armas, she's gorgeous. Like, she couldn't fully get rid of her Cuban accent, but she still was a phenomenal actor. And I'd say maybe if the movie didn't have so much weird shit swirling around it and maybe was a little bit better, I could see her getting some awards. She may even still get some, and I think they'd be well-deserved. But overall, I was kind of flopping back and forth on my penis score for it, but like 2.5 blonde dicks is the best I can do. At one point, she gets called in to suck JFK's dick while he's like laying in bed watching TV and on the phone. And
called in how?
Like like I said, there's nothing really stringing these scenes together. It's just all of a sudden she's in a car being escorted by the Secret Service, and then they walk her in, and JFK's laying in a bed watching TV, and he's on the phone, and he just like waves her over and makes her like jack him off, and he keeps being like, "Hey, Rod, don't be shy. Hey, don't be shy." And she's like jacking it. He's like, "Hey, Rod, come on, like you mean it." And then he just like grabs her by the back of the head and forces her to suck his dick. And you see like, it's a very close-up shot of her face, but you do see like a little bit of penis meat in her mouth, which is, she's clearly sucking a dildo, but she's like jacking a dildo off while blowing it. And you just hear her inner monologue like, how did I get here? Did Marilyn get me here, or did Norma Jean get me here? And it's just, all of it just seemed like stuff thrown in to be salacious so it would get headlines and people talking about it. But yeah, it's one of those watch at your own risk type things.
Did Bobby Cannavale, did he play Joe DiMaggio?
Yeah.
And he's on IMDb he's titled as the ex-athlete.
Yeah. Because I don't think they ever say his name in it. Oh,
really?
That's another weird thing.
I'm sure Joe DiMaggio's probably estate didn't want anything like that.
Yeah, I mean, he did just whip her ass on multiple occasions in that movie.
Well, I wonder if that's like fact.
Well, so the whole story of this is from a book called Blonde, which is a fictionalization. Like, it's not based on anything really. Like, like, she did marry Joe DiMaggio. She did marry Arthur Miller. She did hook up with JFK and all this stuff, but like she just filled in all these blanks herself when she wrote the book. So it's not necessarily 100% true as everything happened. But man, they show her marriage to Joe DiMaggio and Arthur Miller, and she constantly calls them daddy. She's like, "Daddy!" Like at one point, he walks into the room and just punches her in the face and knocks her off the bed, and she's like, "Daddy, is this because I made a mess, Daddy?" And it was all just so fucking creepy.
That is weird.
Not a fun watch. That blonde. And I also watched...
Is it true she doesn't shower?
They didn't touch that, but I've heard that a lot. That she was very stinky, didn't shower a lot, she let the farts fly. She did not excuse herself to go to another room. She just blasted off like molten farts. And what else? Oh, she also would like eat food in her bed and then just leave the food in there with her and just fall asleep.
I've done that before.
I mean, who
Mostly
Who
candy
hasn't?
bars, though.
Yeah.
And I guess I don't make a habit out of it. Man, I skimmed through it real quick while you were talking. I did not see enough Nugatos to get me involved.
Yeah, I mean, if you're looking for Nugatos, it's... I mean, she's... Ana de Armas is beautiful. But it's just such a sad movie that nothing that happens is, like, horny in it. On a lighter note, I also watched The Munsters.
How was that? I'm interested in it, so hopefully you have decent things to say about it.
I'll say, if you're cleaning, if you're doing a little exercise, or if you're throwing a Halloween party, it's a good thing to have on. Because the tone of it is pretty good. Like, the Munsters were always silly. And, like, you know, Addams Family was a silly show, and the Munsters was even sillier. And Rob Zombie, I saw some quotes from Rob Zombie saying he wanted this to be black and white like the TV show, but they wouldn't let him. So he shot it in the brightest, most vivid colors possible and told all the actors, I want you to overact to a point where any other director would tell you, you have to calm down. You have to tone it down a little bit. Like, he wanted a big, campy performance out of everybody to sort of match the campiness of the TV show, which he nailed. You know, that worked. It was weird. It was like an origin story, so it's not like The Munsters. Like, it takes a half hour of the movie before Herman Munster is even created, you know, since he's a Frankenstein monster. And then he meets Lily Munster, and they hit it off, and they get married, but obviously there's no fucking kid yet. Marilyn wasn't in it. It was just like... it was odd. Like, I don't know who it was aimed at, because it's a PG movie, so it's appropriate for kids, but then there's like some stuff that's pretty edgy for a PG. Like, usually the difference between a G and a PG is like somebody saying darn it or farting or something.
Hell.
Yeah, or hell. The Grandpa Munster is like reading a magazine with a centerfold, like, fold out. So, like, they're making porno mag jokes. There's a lot of drinking in it and 666 mentions, which obviously doesn't get my fucking panties in a ruffle, but pretty edgy for a PG. And then they made this, like, at one point the Munsters go to Paris for their, what's it called, honeymoon. And Herman Munster is dressed up like a mime. He's got, like, the black and white striped shirt and the beret and shit. And he goes, I had to write this down. He goes, I hope they don't confuse me with Maurice Chevalier. And I'm thinking to myself, who the fuck is that? And I'm a dumbass, so maybe some parents watching it with their kids will be like, ha, that one was for me. No fucking way any kid's getting that. So I Googled him. He's like a French singer from the 1800s. Who gets that reference? What? What? The best review I saw, I looked on Letterboxd, and the highest ranked review for the Munsters It's like watching a porn parody without the sex.
Fuck. That's terrible. That's a terrible review.
Yeah, there was no real central plot. It sort of just strings along and then ends fucking out of nowhere. It literally just ends. It just seemed like Rob Zombie, when he was writing it, he was looking at, final draft
good.
and was like, all right, that's the proper page count. The end. I will say, to give it some compliments, the costumes did look fucking great. The guy that played Herman Munster looked a lot like Herman Munster. He looked good. The sets were fucking fantastic. Like, nailed the sets. It just, I don't know, it just didn't fucking work for me. Like, suck like 2.25 Munster dicks. Kind of a bummer.
Oh, no. You wanted to suck
That's a
few
huge
of them, didn't
bummer.
you?
I wanted to say what?
You wanted to suck a couple, probably 4 Munster dicks there, didn't you?
That would be sweet. I do like the Munsters. But at least there's always the Addams Family movie. 5-dicker.
I have nothing to add to that.
You mean the original one?
Yeah, the one from the
Okay.
90s.
Yes, agreed.
I mean, what a fucking cast. You got Christopher Lloyd, Christina Ricci, Angelica Houston, Raul Julia. I mean, fuck. Movie's epic. I watched that. That's like one of my favorite things about Halloween is that I know I'm going to rewatch that movie.
Is it spooky enough, though?
How fucking dare you, Jeff? I would say the vibe of Addams Family, while it has no violence, a must-watch Halloween season movie. I even turned Carl onto it last year, and she was like, I'm actually really looking forward to watching that again, too.
Nice.
Man, I feel bad. I introduced Carl to Splatoon. She's
still addicted?
Oh, yeah. And she's fucking getting good, too. And it's funny that it's at the point now where, like, if she gets stuck on something and I get handed off the controls and do really well, it's like, look at him. It's like I dunked a basketball. And I'm just like, fuck, yeah. I did that.
Wow.
Shuddy, you look so depressed. Shuddy's like, oh, God, that poor woman. Someone send her help.
Horror movies just aren't my thing.
You okay, Shuddy?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm pretty high. If I'm being
picking you up
honest,
on that.
Is what's happening. I'm not 100% sure what we were just talking about.
Yeah, I kind of figured.
Addams Family.
Oh, okay. I
Oh, Munsters. Then it went into the Addams Family. But you're good. We're good.
Yeah. I did Halloween Horror Nights last night at Universal.
Did Carl went with you?
Yeah. Me,
Did
Carl,
she go last year?
and Bonnie and her boyfriend. No, skipped last year. So we did
Double date.
Little double date. Yeah. Oddly, this is my first time going to Universal in years. I can walk there. We walked. It's fucking
What?
weird. Yeah. It's like under a half mile away. So like when they
That's
actually
cool.
open up that Super Nintendo world there, like I'm buying a season pass and I'm walking to that motherfucker like once a week to just smoke a blunt with Yoshi.
Fuck yeah. Did you guys go to Dim Sum after?
After? No, this thing, we got out of there around like
Dim
midnight.
Sum is a brunch move for Kevin.
Yeah.
Jeff.
Sure. My bad.
Do you know what the biggest... like, they always change the mazes up every year for Halloween Horror Nights. The big one this time was the Weekend. I was like, what?
Yeah.
Weekend?
I heard about that.
Like, I guess if you consider being trapped in a room, being forced to listen to the Weekend, that is pretty scary. But...
You
like-
came around on the weekend, though.
yeah, that was just a little joke. I don't mind some of his music. But still,
His
he's...
Instagram model that I follows on Instagram, like, works at that thing, the weekend Universal Studios exhibit.
Really?
Yeah,
I didn't
I
go
didn't
on
think
it.
they had other jobs
The line
besides
was fucking
Instagram
3
models.
hours.
What?
Yeah.
Is there like one of those fast pass things?
Yeah, but it's like, I think it's like over $200 a ticket. You get to cut all of the lines, I believe.
You
But
have to pay $200 for one ticket.
yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah, it is. What's the regular fee for the ticket?
Let's see.
Well, Kevin was just there.
Yeah, Carl picked these up.
Oh my god.
I mean, it was I waited the first one we went to take because we got there right as it opened. Just like taking advantage of no real lines yet, just went and did the Killer Clowns maze, and that was fucking sick. But like, man, people were getting fucking wasted there. Like security was just like escorting people off the premises. Like as
Like
we
they were
were,
that fucked up. Were they
yeah,
college kids or like high school kids?
I don't know.
People just getting down at the Universal Studio Halloween exhibit.
They range from $72 to $100.
Yeah, I think we got 72 ones.
And then with the Express, they're $279 to $359.
Whoa.
And then if you want the Express Unlimited, it is $319 to $399.
What does that include? Food?
The weekend we'll walk through his maze with you.
The Express Unlimited. Unlimited express access to each house ride attraction. Daytime admission to the park is not included. That's all it says.
Yeah.
So it's $319. The price varies depending on the day of the week you go, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So like $399 is so for $400 you can go into them multiple times if you want and skip the line.
Yeah, that's not happening.
Whereas with the regular one,
So you just
you
didn't do
get
the
one
weekend
time.
shit?
So for $280 to $360, you get one time express access. If you want to go again, you have to wait in the line.
Yeah, why would you do a maze twice? I tell you what, these motherfuckers got Carl good. They knew the perfect time to jump out the window to get her.
Oh, the jump scares got to Carl?
Oh, yeah. Well, they don't get, like, she was like, why don't you ever jump? I'm like, I don't know. I know it's coming. I know it's some, like, struggling theater geek in a mask. It's not, like, scary. Like, you know at every point where they're going to jump out, so you're ready for it. But, like, man, they just timed it perfectly to jump out when she was right there at every little jump-off point. It was pretty sick. All right, how we doing on time? All right. We got some shit. Let's see here. Are you guys down to do some
Voicemails, yay!
Fuck
Yes.
yeah, dude.
All right, I'll take that as a yes.
You were
Right.
confirming it.
Let's see. Where did we leave off? I'm pretty sure. Is it this one?
Kevin, you're such a little turd. I'm listening to the podcast about the Grand Budapest Hotel or whatever. You're such a liberal little cock. Like, you won't even listen to anything anyone says. You should move to Vancouver, down the road from where I'm from, and you can cry in a circle, stomp your hands and your feet, and get your own bathroom. So you can get your own way.
Got ourselves a super cool edgelord here.
Just listen to people. Fuck your movie. Fuck your little turd boy. Fuck, you're doing.
Was that a fart on his end or ours?
I didn't fart.
Let me rewind this a little bit. I could have sworn I heard a fart.
Listen to people.
This guy's angry at
Fuck
you.
your movie. fucking little turd boy. Fuck.
I don't hear it.
Sometimes. I fucking love the podcast, but fuck, I hate that shit. You little turd.
Oh boy. Oh no. I'm a cuck. Really
Because
stings.
you like the Grand Budapest Hotel.
I have to agree with this caller. This very, very angry, triggered Canadian. You are a bitch for liking that movie.
Well, let me say, like, nothing cuts deeper than fucking overused incel insults. Oh boy, I'm a cuck.
Well, I'm going to join Kevin in Cuck Paradise because I've recently, we haven't talked about it, but a couple of weeks ago I watched The French Dispatch and really enjoyed it.
Oh. Look at that.
Right.
Oh, look, now we both have to move to Canada.
I know.
Yeah,
By
use
the
your
way-
own fucking bathroom in Vancouver, you bitch.
Sir, I will say my condolences on the Queen. You know, speaking of cucks, you remember her, the fragile old lady who cucked your whole nation from a continent away for fucking 70 years? My condolences.
I don't really get that. What does that mean? But I like it. What are you referencing?
Didn't she have, like, jurisdiction over Canada and some shit?
Sure, why not? Let's just say it. That's just a fun thing to say.
Or I'm a stupid cuck. Isn't she on, like, their money or something? Let me see.
Yeah.
Maybe I should have Googled this before
No.
riffing on that
no.
joke.
Canada.
Yeah, she is
sucks
on-
the Queen's dick.
She is on Canadian money. Uh-huh. All right. Let's see. Who is... Oh, this might be an empty one. It says transcription not available.
I didn't hear that at all.
If somebody just whispered, I see you. Okay. Well, that was fun. What about this person?
Hello, MSPH. This is Don't Die, a.k.a. Shawnee Sean, a.k.a. Shawnee Killface, a.k.a. Shawnee Razorface.
It's a lot of AKAs.
And
Yeah,
I have
dude.
a is it racist question for Jeff. And I like his opinion.
Uh-oh.
Okay, here it goes. So I'm walking out of the gym. My balls are literally dripping with sweat. And I'm at my vehicle swapping shirts and trying to air out my nuts. For whatever reason, I look up and I see a brand new 2022 Cadillac Escalade in the adjacent road parking spots, parked in a handicap spot about 15 yards away. And I see this man rummaging through the back seat of the Escalade looking for something. I don't know what he was doing exactly. Now, I start to
I have a feeling the answer to his question is going to be yes, that is racist. But
I don't think so.
I guess we'll play this out.
really look at the Escalade, and it's so new it has paper tags on it, so it's brand new. And I think it was a fucking diesel Cadillac. I wasn't even aware those existed. And as I'm staring at it, the guy pulls back from rummaging in the back seat, and he's 6'7", maybe 6'9". Apparently a Cadillac Escalade is 6'3" tall. I looked it up, and he was taller than it was. 250 pounds, maybe 270 pounds of just muscle, maybe more, right? Just a
Man, Shawnee Killface is really checking this guy out.
big guy. And he's walking around to the driver's side. He must have locked eyes with this other guy walking to his car because the other guy looks like he just saw an infant do a round-off somersault. Just like pure surprise or shock. The other guy and I make eye contact, and I just raise my eyebrows like, yeah, that's a big motherfucker. And this other guy's going to his car. The other guy that's going to his car is kind of shakes his head at me. So my first thought after this little interaction went down was that the Escalade guy is a professional athlete. And here's where the question comes in. He just so happens to be a black man. Because I assumed a 6'7", brick shithouse of a man that just so happens to be a black man driving a brand new Escalade with probably a professional athlete, does that make me in any way racist? All right, guys, have a good show.
What the fuck? I would say no, because the thing you're associating him with is a very affluent profession that
And there was
anyone-
also a look of recognition from the other person. So it's natural to assume that he's probably a professional athlete or some sort of famous person.
right.
And if you don't follow sports, you're clearly not going to be able to identify a lot of professional athletes out in the wild. And I mean, the way you described him sounds like he was built like an athlete.
Well, if you see a 6'7" black guy built like a brick shithouse, and you can go ahead and assume he's a professional athlete.
Now, see, that's definitely racist.
That's racist.
That's the line. We found the line, Sean. Jeff found it for you, as you knew he would.
I think it'd be racist to say that he has poor credit, but not bad professional athlete.
No, that's also racist.
Wait, you can say, oh, wow. Okay, never mind. I'm not going to dig myself in an even further hole.
By the way, Shawnee Killface, thank you for including the details about your sweaty, dripping balls in that story.
They were definitely relevant.
Yeah, it really rounded the story out.
We would not have known what was going on had they not been included.
Shout out to your stinky, sweaty long sack. All right, let's see what this person would like to say. Oh, it's Shuddy Boy.
Sounds like it.
Ooh, hey guys. How's it going? Oh. Oh, sorry about that. I thought I had a little bit longer before the voicemail would click on. I just wanted to say I was listening to, first I want to apologize, I'm going to talk about the Jason Ellis show on your podcast, but I just wanted to say I listened to the Jason Ellis show today where Will Pendarvis was back. Man, it was great to hear you guys all together again. It was just like old times, kept me company. I wish it was a little bit longer, but I know how it is. Yeah, that's it. Just wanted to say how great it was to hear him. Also just wanted to, I'm assuming you guys won't get to this voicemail until around Halloween or so by the looks of it.
Wow. What a skill shot.
No, it wasn't a skill shot. He went over.
Yeah, he missed by like a month.
Yeah, he missed by literally almost
weeks.
a month.
He's in the correct calendar month.
Okay.
He left this voicemail in July.
Yeah, but I mean, he might as well have said the 1st of November. And then it wouldn't be the same calendar month.
Shuddy's a tougher audience. I was impressed, sir.
Jeff agrees with me.
Yeah. Stupid guess. Just complete shit.
Yeah, you fucking way missed the line on that bet.
Right now it's the end of July.
Oh, there we go.
So yeah, let's talk Halloween movies. What are you guys watching? What are you checking out?
All right, well, that is pretty good.
Now
I
it's
haven't really watched any
relevant.
lately.
Now it's
It was
relevant.
midsummer, but I did watch a little bit of one a couple weeks ago. It was probably the worst horror movie I've ever seen. I didn't even make it halfway through. I do like B movies and low budget. This was just too make believe for me. It was very, very low budget. It was called Skinwalkers, I believe it was. It was on Amazon Prime.
I don't think I know that one.
Check it out if you want a good laugh. Watch 15 minutes of it. You'll get a taste of what it is. But yeah, what are you guys watching? Give me some tips on what to watch. As usual. All right. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.
Well, I mean, if I'm looking back on my Letterbox D shit, we kind of
Do
touched
you
on this
have-
last week, but what's up?
Hold on, Kevin. Do you have like a spooky season horror movie, whatever roadmap action plan? Like, do you have them listed in order? To, like, can you give him like the next 5 days or something?
There's not an order, but like there are some that I have to watch every year. There are some that I try to watch every year, and I'm not always successful because I like to watch new things as well. But I mean, this morning Carl had to wake up super early for work, and I couldn't go back to sleep, so I put on the Monster Squad while I was just like eating breakfast and drinking coffee. You hate that one, huh, Shuddy?
I fucking love that movie.
Oh, yeah, it's fucking fantastic.
So part of the reason I got so lost during the Addams Family conversation is, as I said, I'm quite stoned. But Mark Rooster was texting me about doing a weeknight horror movie double feature. And I was so proud of myself because I said, no crappy movies. How about we do a werewolf double feature of Monster Squad and Teen Wolf?
Wow.
And his response was absolutely not.
What was the deal breaker of those two?
Teen Wolf.
Yeah.
He hates Teen Wolf.
Teen Wolf also isn't a horror movie.
I like to joke because he despises that movie so much. I like to joke that it's his favorite to him, that's the pinnacle of werewolf movies.
Mona Lisa werewolf films.
And last year for his birthday, I got him a Teen Wolf Mego action figure. So that's why I was busy having this jokey conversation on the side. But no, I love Monster Squad. I saw that in the theaters as a kid.
Wow.
And so
that's even cooler than... I didn't see it in the theater. I saw it on like cable after it came out.
Saw it at the Outer Six at the Rockaway Mall.
No shit.
With my cousins. Like that movie holds a very special place in my heart. It just Wolfman's got nards. Like that's
legendary line. Legendary.
I mean, that's
I particularly like the part when Fat Kid goes to the little sister Phoebe. He just goes, "Beat it, Phoebe the Phoebe." Like, it's just so random. He just calls her Phoebe the Phoebe.
Have you seen the documentary about Monster Squad?
No, and I really, really want to.
It's on my list, and I have not watched it yet. Maybe I'll do that tonight. Maybe I'll watch Wolfman's Got Nards.
Maybe I'll do that too. Because I know that the kid that plays the main kid, I think he made it. He made the documentary. And
yes.
The actor that played Horace, a.k.a. Fat Kid, he died when he was 22. He just got sick when he was out in Vegas and died of pneumonia.
Jesus.
Yeah. But I definitely would like to hear a lot of the because I mean it's made by Fred Decker, and Fred Decker and Shane Black wrote the screenplay for it, and it's just like it's one of those.
I didn't realize Shane Black was involved.
Yeah. Monster Squad is just one of those movies that lined up like all the planets aligned perfectly. It was the perfect time to strike and the perfect people making it. It's just so fucking good. Pretty ballsy for a PG-13 movie as well. But here, let me grab something because I take all of my must-watch Blu-rays and 4Ks off the shelf and have a stack of them. I can show those off. Anybody else that's looking for some good horror movie recs this month?
My brother's got like a like actual handwritten list they have on a notebook. Cheech writes down like 50 horror movies they're gonna watch, and they just check them off. Do like double features all the time. It's pretty crazy how into the whole horror movie thing my brothers are, and I can't even I can't watch one of these movies.
I have to watch Jennifer's Body this week.
Yeah, that one's
Yep, that's why I have to watch it. That's exactly why.
But I got The Thing, Lost Boys, Beetlejuice, The Witch, the aforementioned Addams Family.
I gotta throw a challenge flag on Beetlejuice. To me, that's more fantasy than horror.
Yeah, that's a swing and a miss there, Jeff. It involves like dead people in the afterlife.
I said what I said. Fuck you.
And ghosts, people mutilating their faces, hauntings, possessions.
I guess my only defense is that I haven't seen that movie.
Parker,
in like
give me a few minutes.
Shuddy, you didn't mute yourself. You just turned your camera off.
I just realized that the dog has to go out.
Man, I wish that you made that mistake and said something like crazier.
Man, that's like when we were playing Fortnite with Arts and his homie, and like we got our ass whooped really early on, and his buddy was like, "Hold on 1 second, I'll be back." And you just hear him screaming, "Fuck! Fuck! Fuck! Motherfucker!" And then he puts his headset back on. He's like, "All right, I'm back." And he was like, "Did you mean to mute yourself for that?" And he's like, "Oh shit, yeah."
Yeah, here comes the putter throw.
That was awesome. Usually every year on Halloween, I watch this one, Trick or Treat. It's not the greatest movie in the world, but it's a very fun, modern anthology movie. And it's, super Halloween themed, so it's very, very fun to watch Halloween Day. You also have this Arrow video copy of The Stuff. Very silly, campy horror movie.
You got that last Halloween season, didn't you?
I believe so, yeah.
I feel like we've talked about this.
The Blob. This one. Fucking Chuck Russell's The Blob with, I believe the screenplay is by Frank Darabont. Excellent. One of the best 80s horror movies ever. Fucking love this movie. Holy shit. This is a new one that made on the list, Color Out of Space. Nick Cage. Sick movie. What else?
You're really answering the fuck out of this voicemail.
The Crazies. I love that one. Timothy Olyphant.
Olyphant, eh?
It Follows. Kicks Ass. The Shining, of course. And Return of the Living Dead. And then I got a new Criterion version of Night of the Living Dead coming in the mail today. And fucking Killer Clowns, of course. Killer Clowns, but I own that digitally.
Does
So there
Carl
you go.
have like a one go-to movie she has for a horror movie season?
Not really, but since dating me, we watched a shitload of horror movies last year, and we've watched a bunch this year. And to this day, her favorites are still Addams Family and Lost Boys. Oh, and we watched Jeff Goldblum, The Fly, this weekend, and she had never seen that before, and she really liked that one. Yeah, sorry, that was a long answer.
No, that was good. I mean, I have nothing to add, so I succeeded my time to you. Good job.
All right, want to do one more voicemail?
Let's do it.
Boop.
Mad Scientist Party Hour. It's your friend Brian down here in Houston.
Hi,
How are you
Brian!
guys doing today?
Brian.
I'm sending love and a lot of encouragement to continue to kick ass. Normally I call and tell you embarrassing stories about myself. Today I'm going to do it
We
a
love
little bit
those.
differently. I'm going to change it up because I have a question specifically for the Dragon. Jeff. In recent
Yes.
years I have come to understand that some women find it really fucking hot when they find out that men have sucked dick. So my question to you, Jeff, is would you suck a dick if the only people that knew about it on the face of the planet would be women, and every single one of them thought it was totally hot and wanted to fuck the shit out of you because of that, but they would never mention it, and you would only have to do it one time? So basically, would you suck that dick if it meant that you got an infinite, unyielding amount of continuous pussy? All right. I'm pretty sure it's going to be no, because that's just what I'm predicting. Either way, he might surprise me, though. I love you guys. Have a wonderful day.
He left an awesome joke on the table. He could have said something like, pretty sure it's no because you're a big homo. But whatever. I think I was already offered this one, right? Like years ago.
I
Pretty
think-
much just sucking dick for unlimited chicks.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm good.
That's
I'm
probably
good.
the gayest way you could answer that question. No, I don't want to have any heterosexual sex. If you break it down,
I mean, I think either way you were going to get to that point anyways, so whatever. I guess I expedited the process. I thought it was funny how he got there, though. I would like to know the girls that he's talking to that think it's hot to suck dick. Isn't that what he said, or did I mishear that?
No, that's what he said.
I think I've heard girls say that they get like horny watching gay porn, but like I haven't heard a ton of women say that.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, you think, like, can you name anyone? Like, not that you have to on this podcast, but like,
No, I don't remember
specific examples.
No, I mean, I know that I've heard it before. I just don't remember who said it. And like, if you think about it, if you do the math and show your work, guys do get pumped out if you're at a party, or pumped up, I mean, and two chicks make out. Like, that'll get people to be like, yeah. And, you know, lesbian porn, not as good as, you know, male-female porn, but lesbian porn is pretty cool. You get 4 boobs, 2 vaginas, no wieners. That's cool. So if you flip it on its side, women, you just get a bunch of wieners.
Right. No, you make a lot of great, excellent points, Kevin.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I'm trying to help. I'm trying to help Brian in Houston.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck he was talking about, but I'm not gonna suck that one. I only have to suck one dick for a lifetime of awesome vagina. But
yeah,
I don't know. Since I passed on this previously, and my attitude towards sucking dick hasn't changed, maybe I'm less aggressive about not sucking dick nowadays, because it's just, you know, the show's developed a little bit over the years. I'm still not going to suck this.
Well, no one can force a wiener in your mouth, Jeff. No one but you.
Thank God.
So
this is in prison, you know.
All right, well,
and I'm not Norma Jean. Was that I went to the IMDb and was like looking for, like, just scrolling the cast. Was her real name Norma Jean? I never knew that.
Really? Who did you think
No.
Elton John was talking about when he said goodbye, Norma Jean?
He probably doesn't remember that version. He probably just remembers the version
Princess
about
Diana one?
Diana. Like he probably just broke his brain.
Goodbye,
I don't
Princess
even know
Diana.
what song you're talking about.
Candle in the Wind.
You'd
recognize it if you heard it, because
probably
it when it first came out, it was about Marilyn Monroe, and then when Princess Diana died, he changed the lyrics, and it has become a song about Princess Diana.
No, I had no idea. Her real name was Norma Jean. I think that's a pretty cool name. She should have just rocked that one.
It was too Midwestern.
Even though she
what they
was
told her?
born in L.A.
She was born in L. She was native from Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Oh,
If blonde
I
is to be
assumed-
believed, I don't know.
Well, I don't believe him about Joe DiMaggio beating her ass, so I don't necessarily believe them about her being born in L.A.
I don't know. That seems pretty plausible.
Why would you say that? Why?
Because it
Is
was
he
a different time. That
Is
was
he the consecutive hit record champion?
Well, yeah, I mean, right there, he's good at hitting.
Yeah. When he broke that streak, he just went and took it out on her.
They show, like, because she was initially, like, hooking up with 2 dudes at the same time. Like, almost like some Mormon shit. Like, she just had straight up 2 boyfriends. And the tabloids were always snapping pictures and putting it on the front page, like, Marilyn Monroe's steamy threesome action or some shit like that. So they're like, you got to chill out with those guys. Like, do whatever you want in private, but just don't go public with that shit. So afterwards, when she was with Joe DiMaggio, they like called him to Musso and Frank and gave him a dossier and all these like titty pictures of her when she was young and had, you know, red hair or brunette hair or whatever. He got like all pissed off and he's like, I'm gonna fucking moida ya. I'm gonna moida ya. But then he just gets in his Aruga car, drives home, and beats the shit out of her because he got her titty pictures.
Joe DiMaggio really had to deal with some shit when it came to that lady.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh, I've turned into Shuddy. Oh.
You're not even smoking.
No, I just got a tickle. I'm thirsty. My fucking water cup's dry. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have to head over to Patreon land. If you'd like to join us, patreon.com/Mad Scientist Party Hour. The billing process has been altered to make it more user-friendly, which is what we're aiming for here.
Yeah. One of our biggest goals here in MSPH is to make it more user-friendly.
So yeah, check it out.
The whole show.
All the shows we discussed earlier are available on there. We're going to do another mini bonus podcast right after this, exclusively for Patreon, so check it out. You can also follow us on Instagram. I'm at Kevin Kraft.
At Shuddy Boy.
At Jeffro Records.
And at MSPH Podcast. If you want to see the show on YouTube, youtube.com/Mad Scientist Party Hour. Any subscription helps. We've been stuck at this one fucking number for a little bit now. And if we could get over the hump to get like up to 2,000, that would be kind of chill, I suppose. I don't know. I'm not lit. I don't know how fucking YouTube works.
Help us out. We want to be lit, though.
Yeah, help us be lit. Ugh. Could not have put that in a worse way. Anyway, you can also send your emails, madscientistpartyhour@gmail.com. Shuddy Boy, you got any silly dates coming up?
Nope, no silly dates.
All right. Well, there you have it, friends. Thank you for listening, but until next time, something